up, guys? Christian Van Buren here, co-founder of Ripple Effect Fatherhood. I'm excited, super excited about today. We have another very special guest, somebody that I had the pleasure of serving with as a recruiter. Most of you guys know that I'm in the military, if you couldn't tell by the stuff on the wall. And so we have another guest who, like I said, I got the privilege to serve with, somebody that I definitely look up to as a father. Hopefully a lot of you guys, especially if you guys are my friends that's on Facebook, you've seen him and kind of what he does as a father. I'll let him get into all that, but I'm just super excited about today. So with that being said, let's get into it. The man, the myth, the legend. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, guys? What's going on? It's a pleasure. Hey, man, the honor is mine, man. It was an honor working with you. Even though you were a newer recruiter, I always learn from the new recruiters, because as old recruiters, man, we do stuff so out of date, and you guys bring on that new fire and those new techniques. So I always learn a lot from the new recruiters. I know I learned a lot from you, man. Thanks for all that. It was a pleasure just working with you throughout the day and as a recruiter. And it's a pleasure being here, man. Thanks a lot. I mean, nobody's ever introduced me like that, man. So that means a lot to me, man. And that means a lot to me because it shows that people are watching, man. You know, when I post my stuff, it's something that I do. I enjoy the quick videos with my son, the boxing videos, stuff that I'm proud of, right? And the stuff that I do as a father, it is not in any way, shape, or form because I'm trying to be put on a pedestal or I'm trying to prove anything to anybody. That is not the case. It's something that I enjoy. I like sharing our story. But thanks, man. That lets me know that people are watching.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, man, I love that. I love that. So, hey, real quick. So go ahead and tell everybody here. So I refer to you as Drill Sergeant BARRIOS.
Drill Sergeant.
Yes.
The OG, the original from the Guard here in the state of Texas. The reason I say that because the state of Texas started sending recruiters to drill sergeant school to run our RSP program, and I was one of the first ones back in 2014 when I went to drill sergeant school. Man. So I've been wearing that drill sergeant hat 1 week in a month with the RSP program. Yeah, so for 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, going on 8 years now almost.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, shoot. Well, I'm going to refer, if you don't mind, I'm going to refer to you as Drill Sergeant BARRIOS throughout this whole interview, just because, like I said, I respect you, not only you as a father, but I also respect you as, you know, a senior leader in the military, and just all that you've been able to accomplish. And obviously we can get into that if you want, but the goal of today is definitely just to highlight you as a father and your experience as a father. And so, yeah, so, well, first off, is there anything that you want to say before I ask you the first question?
No, I'm good. Thank you so much. It'd be a little awkward. I'm not being used to calling by my first name, so thanks for keeping it.
All right, good. I didn't know if you want to tell anybody about the air salt and stuff like that.
Air salt, baby, air salt. I just got this hat, man, at the PX, making me feel good and remembering my aerosol days. I went to Rappel Master course also. You know that, right?
Did you?
Yeah, so right after aerosol, they opened up the opportunity for, and you know, I'm always, you know, ready and motivated to go to these high-speed schools. I know that a lot of people turn those schools away, but nah, man, as they come, let's go. Next one is airborne, hopefully. Recruiter retention. If you are hearing this interview, your boy, he wants some airborne wings.
I love it. I love it. All right, Drill Sergeant. So, first question for you. Okay, despite its challenges, right? Because we all know being a father comes with its challenges, okay? Despite its challenges, what does fatherhood mean to you?
Fatherhood, man. Oh, that's a good question. I see fatherhood, if I had to write the meaning of fatherhood in the dictionary, it'd probably be, and it's gonna sound so you that you're in the military, you're probably gonna say that I got it from one, but yeah, military is a big factor of why I do things and how I am nowadays, right? So it plays a big role in my life. Okay, the military is not just a job; it's a way of life.
Right.
So I see fatherhood as a mentorship, somebody who is showing you what right looks like. I feel like when you play the role as a father, uh, the kids are looking at you to see what right looks like. So I see as an instructor, a teacher, a mentor, somebody that's holding your hand and guiding you through that, what they say in basic training, that crawl, walk, run phase, right? Kind of like a drill sergeant. So um, that's my definition of fatherhood.
Man, I love that. I love that. I like that. So yeah, mentorship and what does right look like? That's powerful. Seriously.
Yeah, definitely. And so just like the drill sergeant, right? What I mean by that, and if you want to emphasize a little bit of that,
Yeah.
is by example, right? In the military, we say lead by example. And I'm not talking about somebody that just tells you what to do, right? Kind of like the difference between a boss and a leader, right? Is somebody that's, you're leading by example. And so they wanted to emphasize a little bit, caveat on that.
No, absolutely, absolutely. You got to touch on that experience of a drill sergeant, right? No,
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, perfect. I like that. So next one is describe the emotions that you felt waking up today, knowing that you are doing the best you can as a father.
The emotions.
Yeah.
That's a funny question. That's a funny question because because the reason I say funny question to me is because I was actually thinking about that this morning. I was thinking about the fullness that I feel
Ooh.
like today, that I got to wake up and spend time with my kids, take them to the boxing gym, wake them up in the morning, and just being there. The sense of fulfillment in me. A lot of people, um, I don't know. Some people might say my son is lucky. No, I tell you right now, I'm lucky to have my son and to be able to live this experience with him. And for those that don't know, my son is a little 7-year-old boxing prodigy here in San Antonio. I mean, this kid is something else. And I know every father says their kid is the next great thing in every sport that they play. I'm sure you guys heard that millions and millions of times. But as an experienced boxer myself, um, and being around the boxing world, I know my kid has that little special quality to be great in the sport of boxing. And I just feel blessed of the opportunity to wake up and be part of his journey. Also in my daughter's life. My daughter just started boxing, and our whole world doesn't revolve around boxing, right? But just this morning I was thinking about that because I was getting ready with them, and it's just a blessing, and it's a sense of fulfillment for me. I love being a father, man. I love spending time with my kids. I do this because I'm not being obligated. And I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody who court has them at strict times and they got to spend time with their kids. That's not the case, man. That's not the case. I'm not trying to downsize anybody, but I do this I love spending time with my kids. I try to get out of work early so I can be with my kids. I try to have the weekends off so I can spend time with my kids. So
Man, hey, no, that's powerful. I really think, I mean, you can sense the passion in your voice of just the value of, I tell everybody, I have this tattoo on my arm right here that says time holds value, right?
Oh,
and so the whole time you were speaking, it just reminds me of like, hey, like the time that you have in a day, right? Especially when it comes to spending that time with your kids, like that's valuable time. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so something that you brought up that I think is really great is being a recruiter is not an easy job. And with that being said,
And
I
it doesn't
know,
get any easier with the years.
yeah,
I guarantee
the
you.
longer you're in it, right? The longer you're in it,
6
the
years
harder.
recruiting, 7 years recruiting, and it don't get any easier.
I tell you what, but what I heard you say without even actually saying it is that you work probably twice as hard, 3 times as hard as a recruiter, not because you want the accolades of being a recruiter, but most importantly, you want that time to your kids that comes with being a great recruiter, right?
Sergeant BUREN, you hit the nail right on the spot. I was just talking about that last time with one of my peers. And the reason I hustle and I gotta make mission, because you know we're in a mission, and the reason I want to hit those mission numbers is because I value the time with my kids. That's the most. All the other stuff, like you said, the trophies, the plaques on the wall, that don't. I mean, yeah, I'm not trying to say anything bad, but at the end of the day is spending that time with my kids, and that's why I gotta make sure that I'm using my time wisely at work, and be proactive, get the mission done, complete the mission, and spend time. And it's so doable. It's so doable. I think I spend a lot of quality time with my kids. I'm blessed with the as you know, it's funny to say this because people in the military will probably laugh until they are the recruiter, but recruiting is one of the most stressful jobs there is in the military. You know what I mean? And until you've been a recruiter, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, you're right.
So, but it's so doable, man. When you manage your time correctly, and you're there just to work. When you're at work, you're working, and you get the opportunity. I'm blessed to have that position that I am, because I do feel like I have plenty of time to spend with my kids. I don't think like right now I'm in the position in my life or in my career where I lack the time with my kids. They're away from me. I don't feel that way at all. I think I spend the quality time with my kids when they come out of school. I pick them up. We go to the boxing gym. We spend time together. And the weekends, I also spend time with them also. Yeah, so definitely value of time. You can't put a price on time. They couldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you, BUREN. They probably couldn't put a price on me not being spending time with my kids. And as funny as this may sound, I probably wouldn't even do it for $1 million. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to, you know, there's people out there, they're out there hustling, chasing that dollar. More power to you. There's nothing wrong with that. Get it. It's out there. The world is yours. It's out there for the grabs. But my thing and my value is with my kids. Yes. And you can't put a price to that. They couldn't pay me enough to keep me away from my kids.
I love it. Well, I'll tell you what, it's funny that you say that, because I think last Thursday we posted on our Instagram page, we usually post like a word of the day or something like that on Thursday, and the word was priceless. And that was our Thursday post, and we were talking about priceless, the time that you had to spend with your kids, etc. Right? So no, I feel you there. And so it's funny because my next question was actually describe the emotions you feel having the opportunity to coach your son in boxing. But I think you already answered that question. Right?
It's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty, because man, he does so good, so well, and he picks it up and he likes it too. One of the dads here at the gym around my son's age, he started talking to me on the side, and he said I get a lot of praise because they see how motivated my son is, and he does his thing, looks so good, right? And he came up to me, he's like, hey, my son's feeling a little discouraged. What's your tip? How can I motivate him? And I told him, man, a lot of people think it's me. It's not me. It's my son. He loves the sport of boxing. I'm not forcing him to. I'm just here. I kind of guided him when he was a little kid, of course, right? He's not going to just wake up and say, I want to be a boxer at 3 years of age, right? I started training him at my house when he was age 4. And honestly, we weren't pursuing him going into boxing. Because it's a tough sport, and I don't want to get too much into that. I'm talking about my son, but yeah. But the reason, we're sheepdogs, and I don't want to get too much into the sheepdog philosophy, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So we're warriors, right? And we're protectors. So I wanted to teach my son before he started school the 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all it was. I wanted to teach him the 1, 2, 3, 4 so he could defend himself. But it went to 1, 2, 3, 4 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Doug here's bob and weave, and then I was like, wow, he's really good at this. He likes it. I don't have an issue with him training. I mean, right now I went to the gym and went in there after I wrapped him up. My son's in the boxing gym right now. Yeah, I should be doing the class too, but it's all right. I'm just here for motivation for him. That's all. But when I went in there, he was already shadow boxing inside the boxing gym. He loves doing that. I'm not forcing him. So I told the dad, I said, yeah, it's not me, my man. It's my son really likes this. It's all him. I told him maybe, I gave him some tips. I said maybe when we started with Marlon, it was Mondays, was Tuesdays and Thursdays. training. So maybe your son's too young to do it every day right now.
Yeah, right.
So we started like that here and there. It's in bits, and then their attention span is short. So maybe start with a little quick 5-minute class. That's all it is. And when a 4-year-old, that's all you can do. You can't run a full 1-hour workout.
Right.
But it's a blessing watching them and the sense of pride that I have, man. I mean, when I take him to local boxing gyms and he spars with other kids that are very good, some of them a little bit older, and he does so well and he stands his ground and he looks so good. I mean, it's just a sense of pride, man. I mean, I don't know. Maybe to him it doesn't have any meaning yet,
Not
right?
yet.
Right. But to me, man, that's just
Yeah.
and I take nothing from him because he's the 80-year-old kid I wish I was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Last time you put on social media, you said write a quote, send me a quote,
Yeah.
right? You asked
Yeah.
for a quote, right? And the first thing I thought about, and I was just glancing through my phone, I thought about it and I wrote it to you and I sent it to you. And I said, be the coach you needed when you were a kid.
Yep.
Because I saw it somewhere. I saw it on social media. I saw it somewhere and it always stayed in my head.
Yep.
And that's what, as long as he's motivated and he wants to be here, I'm gonna be here. And it's a sense of accomplishment. And he at the end of the day, and this goes to that's the coach's feeling, but from the father's side, he has my last name.
Yes.
He is a direct bloodline of mine, right?
Yeah.
So he puts my name this high, man. If I had it here, he puts it here with his accomplishments. And I feel at the end of the day, that's what us fathers, that's our pay, man. That's our pay. Leave that legacy.
Yes.
I know a lot of people. I've talked to people and they don't care. They're like, "And I'm gone. I'm gone. I don't care what happens." Not me, man. I think we come to this world to leave a legacy. The name. I think the name. I'm first generation American,
Okay.
first generation military. So coming from Mexico, I was born in Mexico.
Okay.
Coming here to the U.S. and doing as good as I'm doing and leaving a legacy with my last name means a lot to me. Again, those things that you can't put a price to, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's a sense of pride. To answer your question, it's a sense of pride. I tell you, man, when I did high school presentations, I had to have a PowerPoint so I could
Don't
I
even
jump
worry
all
about
over
it.
the place.
Hey, look, I'll tell you this, and I knew you were gonna say something. I knew you were gonna say something about that, but I'll tell you this. The whole reason we're doing this, right, is to just create an environment that has more of a positive outlook on the presence of fatherhood. And so I knew you're going to say something about like you talking and stuff, but I know people who watch this, they'll hear the passion in your voice, not of being like a coach, but just of being a father. And you know what I mean? And so I appreciate like as much as you're willing to share, because it shows how passionate you are about being a father. And like the first question that I put in there, the first question that I asked you, I said, despite its challenges, right? So like I always tell people, we're not looking over the fact that being a father is challenging. There's struggles. Yes, we know that stuff is out there. However, not enough people highlight the positives, which is why there's so many fatherless kids out here, because you know what I mean? Like everybody highlights the struggles, everybody highlights the negativities. And so if with the fatherless families out there, you know, they don't get to experience the positives that you're talking about. You know what I mean? So with that being said, no, I appreciate you sharing as much as you're sharing, man. And so, all right, the next question.
And I like it. I like it. I like what you're doing, Sermon Buren. Let me tell you why. Because in the name, that's what caught my attention. The ripple effect fatherhood, right? I got that right?
Yep.
Okay. I understand it. You don't have to explain to me. Just the name itself tells me everything.
Yeah.
I'm breaking a pattern here, man. I don't know if you know. I know because I've seen your mom was a single parent, right? I seen one of your last videos. I think you interviewed your mom.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So same here. I was raised by a single mother. And that's why I tell you, Marlon is a little 8-year-old kid that he's that I wish I was. Okay. And I take nothing from him. He's his bravery, his discipline, it's all him. I'm not trying to say it's all because of me. But that ripple effect, man. Um, right now, I'm raising my son. Because of that, my son is gonna raise my grandson. And I tell you, the legacy, man, the last name is gonna get better and better. Marlon might not be the world champ. My grandson might be the world champ.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's where it's at, man.
Man, I love that.
Yeah.
You know what? I knew I was excited for this one for a reason, right? But what you just said kind of brings me into the next question,
Yeah.
right? And this one's kind of a long one, okay? So
Uh-oh.
so stick with me, okay? So outside, and we're talking about Marlon here, or
Yeah.
and your daughter. What's your daughter's
Okay.
name?
Laura
Lauda.
Barrios. Yeah,
Okay.
she's 11.
Okay, I love that. So, okay, so Lauda and Marlon, think about them
Yeah.
for this, okay? Outside of becoming a legendary boxer, either Lauda or Marlon, what valuable lessons or character traits do you want them to learn through your relationship with them as a coach?
As a coach. Yeah. So it got me kind of spinning. I know my daughter, she might not go into boxing. She just started training with us just recently. She's a dancer. She's a singer. We had her in singing.
Oh,
Of course, I
nice.
can't sing myself, so I can't coach her myself, right? The only reason I can coach Marlon in boxing is because I used to box myself.
Right.
So like, yeah, I'm glad you picked boxing as a sport, and that's probably why he's in boxing. If I was a football player, maybe he would have been in football, right? So,
right.
uh, but the life lessons, and I've always talked about this as a coach, the life lessons that you pick in boxing are, man, it's who I am. It's the reason who I am right now is because I was the reason why I was successful coming into the military, honor graduate, basic training, distinguished honor grad AIT, because of the values, the mental fortitude in the sport of boxing, of and it's gonna sound a little violent, but the mental fortitude of hitting when you're getting hit, fighting back when you're being attacked. You can't teach that in a classroom, my man.
Right.
You can't teach that. If it wasn't for the sport of boxing, it's hard for me to teach that as a father at home. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm hitting them with a belt and telling them to fight back. But you see what I'm saying? And the discipline to be a boxer, you got to have a lot of discipline. I mean, I'm already talking to Martin. He's 8 years old, and I'm already talking about his diet. I mean, 7. Sorry, he's gonna turn 8 soon. He's gonna start competing soon, and we're already talking about diets. We're already talking about so he can make it. We can stay within that weight class at 8 years old. So the discipline, the mental fortitude, I think that's the most important right there. And just like any other sport, being coachable. That's the number one. And I think that's, how can I say that to you? You know, the sport itself will make coachable kids. Okay. And I think that's also the important of having a father in the home, because the discipline of a male role model is different than maybe just having a mom. I know me speaking, you know,
From
and
experience.
yeah, from experience, I don't know how my mom did it, man. Honestly, I know how much value I have at home. I'm the head of the household. I'm the provider. Without me in that equation, man, I don't know how my kids would be doing it. I don't know how my wife would be doing it. Just the reality. You can ask her later in an opportunity. But I'm just such an important piece in this family, my man. You take me out of the equation, I don't know how my mom did it, man. But
You know what?
yeah, they're gonna learn a lot of life lessons from the sport of boxing or any sport.
Yeah.
Stuff that I can't teach at home, stuff that you can learn in the classroom.
Love it. You know what? I think I want to highlight something that you just did there in your answer is that, and something that I think a lot of fathers need to do, is you placed value on yourself as a father in the household, right? So you didn't do it from a sense of, I'm pride, like there's pride. You did it from a sense of like, hey, like I know the value that I bring to my family as a
Yes,
father.
sir.
And
Yes,
so
sir.
I just wanted to highlight that, because anybody watching this, or maybe fathers out there that, are questioning if, if they're bringing any value to their family, if they're having trouble providing whatever, like fathers, you bring value to your family by just being present and offering that positive presence, right?
Let me tell you why I speak like that. Because at that point, I'm speaking from experience. I'm speaking as a son that had the absence of his father. So
Exactly.
I understand the value of me being there.
Yep.
And because of that, it's also my duty, my responsibility to be there. What do I mean? That's why I gotta keep my nose clean, stay out of trouble, because I understand the value that I am to this family. If I'm out, this family is gonna be broken. So taking care of myself, staying alive,
Yeah.
being here, and not not staying out of trouble.
Yeah. No, that is, I wasn't expecting that out of that question, but that was amazing. I love that.
Thanks.
Okay, perfect. So in what ways has the military helped you in your role as a father?
Yeah, so like when I started, I said that the military is more than a job; it's a way of life, right? So there's
Yeah.
a lot of traditions, a lot of stuff that we have in the military, and there's a different way that we do business in the military. If for anybody listening to me and never been in the military, I was a business owner before I came into the military. It's a family trade flooring business. Growing up in the flooring business, my uncles who were my mentors, they have a different view towards employees, toward it's different leadership styles. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm not into that right now, right? All I'm saying is that there's different styles. My uncles were always like, hey, work your employees, get the most you can out of them, 8 hours and yada yada. Let's see what you try to pay them as minimum as possible so you can have more of a profit. So it's a dog eat world out there. And that's why I tell a lot of soldiers when they're trying to get out, I'm like, okay, just be, I'm like, it's not that easy in the civilian side. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Right.
mean, it's doable. It's doable, right?
Right.
But there's definitely a lot of stuff you can do and great things in the civilian sector. I'm not trying to knock anybody out. I'm not going to say the military's better. But in the military, when you get to the leadership positions, you learn that it's about taking care of your soldiers and putting your soldiers first. So if you bring that philosophy into my house, that's why I'm here. It's not about them supporting me in my career. It's about me putting them first, taking care of my kids. And let me tell you something. Now that you tell me, hey, the way you presented me, I'm no subject matter expert. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay,
Right.
I'm not trying to put myself on a pedestal. I've made many mistakes, and I'm learning as a father. I don't think anybody has the how-to book of being a father. I always tell my stepson, he's a I mean, I'm a grandfather. Did I tell you that? Have
I
you
did
seen
not
the
know
picture?
that.
Yeah, I got a 2-year-old grandson at home. Little dude loves me.
Look at you.
Yeah. So when I married my wife, she had an 8-year-old son who I became a stepdad, right?
Okay.
And in my culture, I married my wife at 25. That was a late bloomer. At my
Okay.
culture, if you're 18, you don't have a full-time job, married. What's up with you, man? Something wrong with you, right? So I was
Okay.
a late bloomer. So I didn't have all these answers. I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
And that's what I told my stepson last time. I said, I don't think anybody is ever really ready to be a father. You either just step up to the plate or you don't.
Yeah.
I feel like I failed my stepson, not in purpose, but just because I didn't have experience. So how I failed him, how way I feel like I failed him is because I was always so concerned about my career, deployments, going to schools, being gone, spending so much time in the office. And I feel like he didn't get the quality of a father as my kids are not getting. And it's not because I don't love him any less or any more. It's because I didn't have the experience, my man. I didn't have the experience, but I'm glad that he was part of my life because he gave that knowledge to me, and I can pass it over now to the little guys. Okay. And now I understand. I understand. And I'm glad I understood after a couple years, as opposed to, I'm not trying to talk bad about anybody,
Right.
and any higher ups, right? But Sergeant Buren, how many retirements have we gone to where the command sergeant major, first thing he does is apologize? I mean, not apologize, but thanks his family for their support for not being there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I turn around, I look at their kids, they're 20, 21 years old, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I understand that. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. And that's why I thank them for their service.
Yes, absolutely.
Because of that cost.
Because that's a sacrifice. Yep.
Yeah, it's a sacrifice. And that's what, I don't want to be that.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm telling you straight up right now, I don't want to do that.
Right.
I have no desire, goals to be that CSM, telling my family, thank you for supporting me, never being there in my whole 20 something plus career. That is not my goal. That is not my goal at all. You can't put a price to my time with my kids, man. And yeah.
I love that. That's yeah, that kind of sums up, I think, that your passions that I was bringing up, your passion ultimately all just kind of sums up your time with your kids. And that's what you're passionate about. Even if, I mean, I'm sure even if Marlon, for whatever reason, decided he didn't want to do boxing, say he didn't want to do football, the time that you get to spend with him doing something that he loves is more important to you. And it's just icing on the cake that it happens to be something that you love as well, which is boxing. So I love that.
And he's good at it. And he's good at it.
Yes. Hey, yeah, by the way,
it's all lining up, man. We're gonna have the next world champ here, man. It's all lined up. And that's the secret ingredient right there. I mean, when I look at world champions, just the gym right here right now, we're two-time world champion Jesse James Leija from San Antonio legend, living legend.
Wow.
I mean, the ingredient was there. His dad was there. His grandpa was a boxer. And I'm not making no excuses. I hate excuses.
Yes.
I hate excuses.
Right.
But that was the missing ingredient on me, man. I was a great fighter, 4-time open division Golden Glove champ. I didn't go any further because that was probably the missing ingredient. It is what it is. It's just an excuse. I'm sure there's world champions that came from a single mother.
Right.
But when you got that secret ingredient, man, I mean, it's there. It's up for grabs.
Love that, man. All right. So, okay. So this is the question that I'm looking forward to hearing your answer on. Okay. It's kind of a long one as well, but not super long. All right. So based on what you have experienced as a father up to today, what would you tell your younger self to look forward to when it comes to being a father?
To look forward to experiencing. Man, that's a good question. I guess from my how can I mean, I've enjoyed my whole time with being a father since my kids were born, right? So, and I think the reason I do things is not because I look forward to something, okay? I joke around and say, I wish Marlon's the world champ and all that. That's just talk, right, between us. I'm in love with the
journey.
The journey itself, man. That's spending my time with my son. Like you said, if he picks up football and he wants to go to football, my daughter used to take her to singing classes and all that, and I love being there. And is that I'm in love with the journey.
Yes.
I am not that all that talk that we talk of course, right? As a coach, the next world champ, all that good stuff. But I'm not looking for an end goal. But I know there's value. I know there's value to being a father. And like I said earlier, leaving that legacy. And just there's so many proud moments that I live on a daily with my son. And my daughter too. I mean, they're great. They're good kids, man. They're good kids. I'm proud of my kids. Now I have my little grandson, 2-year-old. who's living with us. So,
That's awesome.
so that's another one in the family for us. But it's just on a daily, a sense of accomplishment and a sense of fulfillment. It gives me so much peace, man. Let me tell you something. If I feel like I failed my kids and I wasn't there, at the end of the day, they're my kids, and it hurts me to see them not be successful in life.
Mhm.
So just them being successful in life, it gives me a sense of accomplishment and a sense of peace.
Mhm.
I don't think I would have that if they turned out to be not good, productive citizens,
Mhm.
and that sense of guilt that I failed them.
Mhm.
I wouldn't want to be in that guy's shoes.
Right. Right.
That's a scary feeling, you know. And when you get older, then BUREN, I don't know if you already hit that point in your life, but peace is what I ask for. I ask for mental peace. That's what
Man.
I shoot for at this age. I just want mental peace, man. And watching my kids do good and being successful in life is gonna give me that inner peace that I need so that I can go away happy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Go away, go past to the other life happy,
Yes.
feeling accomplished, feeling blessed, and fulfilled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's amazing. I guess I am getting old because I'm looking for every kind of mental peace I can find these days.
And the
So,
reason I say it
but
because believe it or not, man, believe it or not, I was young once. I was just telling one of the coaches in there, I was gonna bring a kid that I'm working. You know the struggle, man. We
yeah,
always work. One of the big issues that the military has is people don't qualify for the military.
right.
One, they're overweight. Being overweight is a big one.
Yeah.
And I told him, hey, yeah, he didn't want to come. He started coming with the excuses. You know the struggle.
Yeah.
And maybe he's just embarrassed. He doesn't want to come in here. I told him that we were not going to beat him up. It was just for him to lose some weight. And I told one of the coaches, the biggest struggle that we have is that people are overweight for the military. And then I was like, I shouldn't be talking right now. Because I need to lose some weight. But what I'm trying to say is, I was young once too, believe it or not. I was
Yeah.
young once. And when I was young, I was looking to see what kind of fight I was going to get myself into, what kind of trouble. I was excited about that.
Yeah.
When you get older, man, I want peace, man. I ain't trying to get no trouble. I ain't
Yeah.
trying to get no fight. But when I
Right.
was young, it was different mentality.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole once you grow up, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Man.
that switch. It
Yes.
just went
Yes.
from this to that. I'm not looking to like, hey, where the party at? Now I'm like, I just want to stay home
Yeah.
with my kids. I don't want there's too much traffic. There's people drinking out there. I
Exactly.
can get in a crash. Now I'm looking for safety. I'm looking for
Man.
peace. Yeah.
Yep. I love that. And before I ask you the last question, I want to just real quick, for anybody that may have missed it, his answer to the last question as far as what he would tell his younger self to look forward to was to look forward to the journey, right? So and I think that that's something that really spoke to me myself too, right? Because for like I'm a new father, right? My son is he'll be 6 months, February 28th, right? And so I'm always looking forward to what is he going to do? Is he going to play this? Is he going to do this? Is he going to? But just enjoy the journey. Look forward to just the daily fulfillment, the daily accomplishments that you mentioned. So that spoke to me. So I appreciate you for that. Oh, drill sergeant. But
Listening,
hey,
man, you got everything. You hit everything. I'm all over the place, but you're listening, man. I like that.
I'm trying
You're
to
a
be
good
a better
listener.
listener.
That's why you were a great recruiter, man. Great recruiters are good listeners, for real. A lot of people think that recruiters can just talk, but I believe that great recruiters are good listeners.
Man, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Okay, drill sergeant. Last question. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? And what would your superhero name be?
Well, I know what my superhero name would be.
Okay.
Because but I don't know what kind of superpower. I know when I used to box, I was a black rooster, right? So I always saw myself like a black knight. So I think that would be my superhero name, the
Okay.
Black. Okay. Superpower, man, that's a hard one. I really don't have one. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because I've always thought it's not saying it's scary, but just having too much of something, it loses its value.
Mm.
If I was the most powerful man, I wouldn't have anything to wake up every day and work out for or try to get stronger. So there's no more of that journey, right?
Yeah.
Um, if I was the smartest guy, I think being too smart is not okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like being dumb and not knowing a lot of things. So I've always thought that too much of something there is not that it's scary, but it loses value to who we are and to the journey and to what I'm saying to in this world that we're in.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't want to have too much of everything.
Okay. I like that. And
I wouldn't have a superpower.
I think that's a great answer too. Now let me
Yeah.
ask you this, because something that just spoke to me in my head
Yeah.
was maybe if there was an answer you could give me, what
Okay.
about the power? And I don't know what this means, right? This is something that just came in my head. What about the power of pursuit?
Of pursuit. Okay, I like
Does that
it.
make sense? I don't know.
I like it. I like
That
it.
just came into my head, but it seems like I
I can
liked your
see. I
answer.
can see why you're saying that. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. The power of pursuit. Yeah. So I'm always gonna be chasing.
Always chasing something, but always chasing
Always
something
chasing a
positive,
dream.
right?
That's hope. Always chasing a dream. I like that. That is. You know what? That's my superpower, man.
I love
The
it. I
power of
love
pursuit.
it. Sweet, man. Well, hey, Joe-san, we're not going to take up too much more of your time today. I want you to get back in there and watch Little Man.
There you go.
Just train, but from the bottom of my heart, from the bottom of my wife's heart, who is also our co-founder, and everybody else who's affiliated with this, we really appreciate you being here and taking the time to just shed light on the topic of fatherhood. I think this was great. I didn't have any less expectations of this interview that it would be great. So man, I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for your time. And let me tell you something. I thank you all. I believe in what you're doing. I believe in the ripple effect of fatherhood. I'm no subject matter expert, but I believe in what you do, man. Anything you need, any way I can support, you got a friend in here that believes in your cause, man. I'm not doing this because you're my boy. I believe in what you're doing, man.
Yes.
Okay. I have a lot of friends that are doing other stuff. I don't I don't back a lot of other stuff that they do. Okay.
Yeah.
But I believe in this, man. This really speaks to me. And I understand the value behind fatherhood. I really do, man. I really do. I wish I could be a better father every day.
Yeah.
Okay. But all we can do is try our best.
Yep.
Do our best, right? That's why I tell my kids in school. That's why I tell my kids in their sports. Just do your best, man. Okay.
Man. Well, thank you so much, Joe-san. Guys, Joe-san Barrios here. I hope you guys received as much from this as I did. I know this definitely blessed my day, and it's going to bless my journey as a father. But with that being said, you guys, for more content, please follow us on Instagram at re.fatherhood. Our YouTube page is Ripple Effect Fatherhood, easy to find. That's where you can watch this video. We'll post the link in our bio on Instagram. But yes, you guys, again, thanks for being here. We hope you were blessed by this and have a great day.
Thank you, brother.
All right.